For centuries, the Roman Empire stood as the pinnacle of human civilization, yet its eventual collapse remains one of history's most debated mysteries. To begin our investigation, we must look at the sheer geographic extent of the empire, which became increasingly difficult to manage from a single center. Notably, the primary engine of this decline was a catastrophic economic crisis, fueled by hyperinflation and the debasement of Roman currency. Consequently, as the value of money plummeted, the state was forced to raise taxes to unsustainable levels to fund its massive military machine. Parallel to these fiscal woes, Rome's over-reliance on slave labor meant that technological innovation stagnated, leaving the economy fragile and inefficient. Turning to the frontiers, the military faced a relentless surge of barbarian incursions from tribes like the Goths, Vandals, and Huns. Because the native Roman population was shrinking, the legions were increasingly filled with foreign mercenaries who lacked true loyalty to the state. In addition to external threats, the internal political structure was plagued by corruption and a deadly lack of succession planning. Specifically, during the crisis of the 3rd century, the empire saw 26 different claimants to the throne in just 50 years, most ending in assassination. To solve this instability, Emperor Diocletian eventually divided the empire into eastern and western halves, a move that had unforeseen consequences. While the Eastern Empire prospered due to better trade routes, the western half was left vulnerable, underfunded, and exposed to constant attack. Furthermore, the rise of Christianity shifted the focus of the populace from the divinity of the emperor to spiritual salvation, altering the social fabric. Beyond human factors, biological disasters played a role. The Antonine Plague decimated the workforce and the military strength. Interestingly, some historians even point to environmental issues, such as lead poisoning from piping, which may have impacted the health of the elite. Moreover, the sheer cost of maintaining the Roman postal service and communication lines over thousands of miles became an unbearable logistics burden. As the 5th century dawned, the situation became terminal when the Visigoths, led by Alaric, successfully sacked the city of Rome in 410 AD. Following this, the Vandals struck another blow in 455 AD, looting the city's remaining treasures and further shattering Roman prestige. Finally, in 476 AD, the Germanic leader Odoacer deposed the last Western emperor, Romulus Augustulus, marking the formal end of the Western Empire. However, it is vital to remember that the Eastern Roman Empire, known as Byzantium, survived and even thrived for another 1,000 years. In summary, the fall of Rome was not caused by a single event, but by a complex cocktail of economic, military, and social failures. Ultimately, the collapse paved the way for the Middle Ages and the birth of modern Europe as we know it today. Looking back, Rome's story serves as a powerful reminder of how even the greatest powers are susceptible to the tides of change and internal decay. Beside the tragedy of its fall, the legacy of Roman law, language, and architecture continues to be the foundation of Western civilization. Closing our analysis, we see that history is a cycle of growth and decline, where data helps us understand the patterns of the past. Thank you for joining this deep dive into history. The fall of Rome was the end of an era, but the beginning of our world.